But anyway, I'm loaded up. How you doing down there, Tumba?
I'm ready to rock.
All right, bro. 3, 2, 1, play. And we've got Whip spawning as the pink Protoss this time down in the bottom left. And dropping the good luck, have fun, GG. And bottom right, we've got the yellow Zerg player. This map has like a green hue to it. It makes me feel like I'm wearing like 3D glasses.
Yeah, a little bit eerie. It feels a little imbalanced towards Zerg, just because I feel like Zerg would feel at home here.
It's imbalanced towards Zerg because it's green.
Because it's green. Of course, color's playing a big role. What color you pick before you go into a game?
You know, depending on who you ask. You know, look at this. Whiplash is really favoring this Forge expand, and this is a map with a super wide open natural, and a natural with more than one entrance. So, it could be scary here. It could be really scary here. Roach Speedling could really make this tough to hold.
Yeah, this sort of shows you the crux of the Protoss is in currently, because on maps with a wide open natural and a tough to take third, that's the thing, is how do you secure that second safely?
Yeah.
So it can be a bit tricky.
Yeah, I can absolutely see what you're saying there. But you know what? We're seeing a lot of Protoss go with these fast expands on at the top level in big games. Like we were watching, or I was casting the TL Open over the weekend, and you know, Protoss players from Korea and top foreigners like TT1, they're going Forge expand on maps like Zelnaga Caverns, which is questionable still in my opinion, because I mean that is like the last place that I would want to Forge expand. But they're making it work. You know, they're making it work with good building placement, good use of force field, and just you know, smart blocking with their probes.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that Sentry Expand ruled the day, and we're like, hey, look at these force fields. We have an in-game map editor. Hold that thought. Here we go again. Maestro planning down another proxy hatchery. Now, he knows this is going to be a Forge fast expand, so like you said, I'm not sure how cost-effective this is going to be for him. However, there are no cannons down yet at this point, so...
Well, what he's doing here, in essence, is he's saying, okay, I see you're trying to go with the fast expand. I want to make sure that I get my hatch down at the same time that you get your Nexus down.
Right.
But he's got to deal with that probe before he can really do it. It looks like the probe's finally starting to leave, so he should be able to cancel the hatch in the natural of Whiplash, and then start a hatch. And his oh no, Whiplash is going to block. What a jerk! So pylon block down in the Zerg natural now, and basically, I mean, this is I feel like this is a favorable position for Toss, because you know he's gonna get that Nexus down well before the Zerg hatchery goes down.
Yeah, and of course you always want to be up a base and up an economy versus Protoss. You never want to let them establish that death ball. You know, having said that, early Roach Sling, which we haven't seen out of Maestro, very effective versus Protoss if you hit the timing correctly. And I know even in DreamHack, Huck had a lot of problems versus Moon when he would just commit to that Roach Sling and that early pressure.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's no question about it. Roach Speedling stuff is hard to hold. Protoss has figured out ways to do it, but that doesn't mean that it's you know, okay, I can hold this every time. It's this, you absolutely have to nail it. You've got to play perfect.
That's what makes the matchup so fun to me, though, because it is Razor's Edge a lot of the time. So you know, it's really fun to experience, and sometimes not so fun, I must say.
Sometimes indeed. So really loving how long Maestro committed to having that hatchery running there. He did end up getting that natural down before Whiplash, and he's got the minerals now to actually expand again if he wants to, and I kind of expect him to do so. Though where he's going to expand is anybody's guess, as he's shown us that he doesn't care what base he takes. It could very well be Whiplash's third for all we know.
This is true. He does not discriminate. No mineral patch is too good for him. He'll take one anywhere. But he is, curious. You know, was going ahead and floating a good amount of minerals there. And I'm just taking a look again, real quick, at these rich Vespian geysers, and I have to wonder, since this is map of the month, obviously something we want to point out for those of you that may be joining late or haven't heard as yet. There are these rich Vespian geysers here, located sporadically around the map, and be curious to see if anybody goes ahead and uses those.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, here, like,
I'll be
here's my take on it. Like,
Okay.
Zerg players work so hard to develop the ability to balance their minerals and their gas, right?
Right.
You know,
right.
I'm sure you do the same in your Protoss play. You want to set up your economy in such a way that your minerals and your gas are they make sense with each other. There's a good ratio there. And when you throw stuff into this, like a rich geyser that you have to distance mine, it forces you to sort of rework your play a lot. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to take this rich geyser and get faster tech, because it's going to throw off every amount of your spinning. Everything just becomes so different. Ooh, Whiplash.
Oh, yep, look at that, Dark Shrine.
Sneaky. Going for a fast Dark Shrine. I like this play as well. Well, you know what? I like it, but it's not going to work out for him. And to be fair, Maestro's been safe against this stuff every single game because he always gets this early Evo chamber and he always gets these early spore crawlers. So unfortunate for Whip. I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction. He's going to open up with some DT harass and he's going to transition quickly into Zealot Archon.
Again, doesn't necessarily have to kill either. You want to just sort of lock down the Zerg, make them realize there are some DTs, gain some map control. But it is sure nice when you get in the mineral line.
You know what? If Whiplash, if these DTs kind of go undetected as they cross the map, he can just focus down these spores, and kind of have a field day.
I'd like to see him beeline for the third, to be honest with you, because it's obviously the most exposed, the most under-defended, and he could do the most damage there. But you know, we'll see exactly where he goes.
Yeah, I'm eager to see how this unfolds. I feel like he's in a position here where if he plays this correctly, he can absolutely take the game with these DTs. Like, I'm serious. If you 3 DTs will focus down a spore crawler in seconds, and layer is like nowhere near starting. So if you kill one spore crawler, you've killed that base, and there's nothing Zerg can do about it. So if Whiplash can recognize that and manage to do that, he's going to be in a really strong position. He is warping in the first DTs now. He's making 4 of them. I suspect he's going to probably split these guys up. Nope, he's sending all 4 of them up to the third. So,
yeah,
all right, here we go.
That's what I wanted to see. That's exactly what I wanted to see him do. Just go ahead and do as much damage as humanly possible here. The spore crawler will detect, as you said.
Kill the spore whip. Kill the spore whip. All you got to do is kill the spore, and you're going to be fine. But no, he's spending all this time fighting Zerglings. And look, now the entire army of Maestro is up in position, and wow.
They cannot maintain.
What a blunder. What they cannot maintain indeed. So that's a bummer, man, because Whiplash, he had an opportunity there to kill that base, and there's very little that Maestro could have done to prevent that had he just focused down that spore crawler. But now Whip is in this situation where he has invested in this very expensive early tech. And see, there's the charge starting. He is going to transition into Zealot Archon, I guarantee it. He's invested very much into this early tech, but he hasn't done any damage with it. And you know, as a Protoss player, you yourself know when you invest in tech, it has to do something.
Well, yeah, it has to do something. Albeit in the diamond and lower leagues, sometimes just keeping the Zerg on alert, keeping it honest, as you like to say, is enough. However, not against a player of Whiplash, or excuse me, of Maestro's caliber, who is able to go ahead and macro and take so many bases. So we're going to have to see. Of course, though, you know what? You do know Whiplash's play. I believe he was a former teammate of yours, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So, you know, and his control is wonderful. So I don't think that the DTs necessarily had to take out a bunch of drones necessarily for him to win the game. Well, it's not over yet. It's not lost.
It's not lost, but look at this. I mean, Maestro has saturated his 3 bases. He's going to start getting aggressive now, and Whiplash, frankly,
now it's lost. Now it's lost. He's got roaches and lings marching over.
I mean, let's not call it before it's literally over. Because I mean, Whiplash has secured this 3rd base. He's got a lot of cannons there. So if Maestro attacks there, now Whiplash will defend. If Maestro attacks into the natural with good positioning, Whiplash can defend that as well. But it's still going to be very close.
Yeah, here's that roach ling that I was talking about. Obviously, alluding to a joke earlier, but that roach ling that is so difficult to deal with for Protoss. However, it is the 13-minute mark, and Whiplash has had some time to prepare for that.
And again, if Whiplash can kill the Overseer, you know, DTs can defend forever.
Absolutely. Yeah, they can rule the day here, but as you can see, Roach is getting a good firing arc now. Obviously, armored unit able to go ahead and take some damage.
Oh man,
Archon's trying to hold as best as possible, but I don't know.
that's kind of how it goes, man. If you invest in that tech and you don't do damage, you know, a smart player is just going to kill you. That's just the way of it. It's like, I mean, it's like, wow, I'm trying to come up with a good analogy, but I'm drawing so many blanks here. It's like if you buy a bunch of Enron stock.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Now you've heard me say earlier that the DTs don't necessarily have to do damage. It's not lost from there. However, one thing that we've seen Whiplash do is that Forge Fast expand. If you're going to DT expand, try to sell maybe a fake Sentry expand, there's a little more risk there, but I think it pays off because your DTs get out so much earlier. And there, you know, you have a better chance of going into the mineral line and at least getting some drone kills and gaining some map control. However, that time, you know, Whiplash going ahead for the safe Forge Fast expand, but, you know, Maestro, man.
Yeah, kind of Maestro kind of got an easy win there, man. It makes me a little bit sad because there was a win there for Whiplash. If not a win, you know, a third base destruction into, you know, a later game. Like, one of the really cool things about the DTs is they give a lot of map control. Like Whiplash was able to go and take a third of his own, and they was at no real risk for quite a while because he had a third of his own, and because, you know, the DTs are on the map, keeping Zerg on the Zerg side of the map. If the Zerg's army goes to the Protoss side of the map, those DTs are going to have a field day, and you know, it just takes a second for them to knock out that spore crawler. So if the army leaves, you know, that's an invitation to lose a base. So I mean, the map control allowed him to take that third, but because he didn't do any damage, because he didn't do anything to really make his army like stay on par with Zerg, he just wasn't able to hold there. It's like,
you know what? You know what we didn't see? Well, we never got a chance. No rich Vespian mining.
No rich Vespian mining. That's sad